said Lucinda. "That's a pity," said Sir Griffin, "considering that I shall have to suggest so many things that you will have to do." "I don't know that at all," said Lucinda. Mrs. Carbuncle came up during the quarrel, meaning to throw oil upon the waters. "What children you are!" she said, laughing, "as if each of you won't have to do what the other suggests." "Mrs. Carbuncle," began Sir Griffin, "if you will have the great kindness not to endeavour to teach me what my conduct should be now or at any future time, I shall take it as a kindness." "Sir Griffin, pray don't quarrel with Mrs. Carbuncle," said Lizzie. "Lady Eustace, if Mrs. Carbuncle interferes with me, I shall quarrel with her. I have borne a great deal more of this kind of thing than I like. I'm not going to be told this and told that because Mrs. Carbuncle happens to be the aunt of the future Lady Tewett, if it should come to that. I'm not going to marry a whole family, and the less I have of this kind of thing the more likely it is that I shall come up to scratch when the time is up." Then Lucinda rose and spoke. "Sir Griffin Tewett," she said, "there is not the slightest necessity that you should come up to scratch. I wonder that I have not as yet been able to make you understand that if it will suit your convenience to break off our match, it will not in the least interfere with mine. And let me tell you this, Sir Griffin, that any repetition of your unkindness to my aunt will make me utterly refuse to see you again." "Of course you like her better than you do me." "A great deal better," said Lucinda. "If I stand that I'll be ," said Sir Griffin, leaving the room. And he left the castle, sleeping that night at the inn at Kilmarnock. The day, however, was passed in hunting; and though he said nothing to either of the three ladies, it was understood by them, as they returned to Portray, that there was to be no quarrel. Lord George and Sir Griffin had discussed the matter, and Lord George took upon himself to say that there was no quarrel. On the morning but one following, there came a note from Sir Griffin to Lucinda, just as they were leaving home for their journey up to London, in which Sir Griffin expressed his regret if he had said anything displeasing to Mrs. Carbuncle. End of Chapter 43. Recording by Leanne Howlett.